know it. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oops. Plug that bad boy in, huh? Yeah. There we go. Okay. Hey, what's up?
So you weren't snooping in my seat?
No. No, I was just checking it out.
Okay.
And then,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Love you. Ready? Yeah. Damn, damn. Yeah. Okay. You know it. We gotta do this one, mate. Wow. It's almost time. Ugh.
This Epic 18 challenges. Conquer your power.
Tonight. You're gonna do it right. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, actually, the guy who did it, did the Vaporwave Satisfaction Guaranteed. His name is Jason Sanders. I knew a Jason Sanders back in middle school. How many Jason Sanders are there out there, though? Probably a bajillion. How many John Smiths are out there? Yes, that sort of thing. Yeah. How many Scott Wheelers were out there? There's a lot, actually, of the Wheeler clan from Ireland and England here in the States. So, back in the early days of the internet, I lived with my friend, this electric guitarist, Johnny. In the year 2002, the first time. Him and his mother back then. And so Johnny decided to, he thought he had the right email address with Scott Wheeler. And then he got a negative email back because there was an evil Scott Wheeler, he's called. Evil Scott Wheeler still might be alive. Might be out there today. He's like, so he tells Johnny in his email, who the fuck are you? Don't you ever fucking email me ever again, motherfucker. And we're kind of like, I'm reading the email, and he goes, Johnny's like, apparently there's an evil Scott Wheeler. I tried to get, I was like, no, man, my email address is this. And he's like, oh. No, my favorite is Du hast. What's that Rammstein song? I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Yeah. It was like, maybe I put some music on MySpace or SoundCloud or something back in the day. Maybe it was SoundCloud. I don't know. I guess you were able to, in the MySpace days, in the Tom Anderson days, you're able to put up like your own songs on there, I think. Maybe a few. I'm not sure. Yeah, so anyways, so a random person, after they heard my music or something that I uploaded, my own personal music, that I wrote myself and all that, sang myself and all that stuff. It was like a hippie metalhead guy. Like a guy, maybe he was, I don't know how much younger he was than I was. Maybe I was like 27 and he was like 22 or something like that. Just making shit up. Maybe he was 16, I don't know. But he kind of looked like a stoned out, he looked like a ripped out Kurt Cobain kind of guy. Which, it's cool, but. So I never met the guy before, but he was able to send me a message for some reason. And I guess he was reacting to my music, or he just didn't like me. And he put in the message, it was, I fucking hate you. Man, I really hate you. And I was like, I never even met you. You hate me? I never heard from him again. Except for that one time I got my car shut up at Walmart. Ha! No, it never happened. Just kidding. Except for that one time I had to flee the Walmart parking lot by a guy that looked strangely like him. Bullet holes. I suppose he was a metalhead or something like that. I suppose he was a grunge or a metalhead, heavy metalhead or something. And by me making pop music or country or rock and roll or something, I had offended his musical genre or something like that. I didn't get it. By playing a different type of music, I had offended the heavy metal people somehow. I think it would be more offensive to play heavy metal and not really be a heavy metal person and just like pose. I think being a poser would be worse than just doing your own thing, right? In my mind. I'd rather be what I am, like Popeye. I am what I am, than be what I'm not. So, or try to be what I'm not. So, there it is. Ooh. And we're almost ready to go. 930. Everybody's hyped to see the next Lord of the Rings. The Hunt for Gollum. Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. I should do a parody like with AI, where it's like Frodo is at the, like it's all the Lord of the Rings characters, but they're at the grocery store. And then you have Frodo Baggins. Ooh. Frodo, we have a cleanup on aisle 9. There's probably all sorts of fun you could have with that concept. Lord of the Rings, but in a grocery store. I was just happy to make the retarded guy at Kroger's laugh. You know, the sacker at the front when I worked there. It was Halloween, and I said, or Halloween was coming up, and I told the mentally challenged man, Donnie, I said, "Hey, Donnie, Halloween's coming up." And he's like, "Oh, who you gonna be?" And I was like, "Freddy Kroeger." He was like, "Freddy Kroeger, oh Scott, you're so wild, man." Sometimes, you know, the retarded people at work, they look really stressed out. Like, you know, like life is overwhelming them because they're slow and they can't comprehend, they can't keep up with everything. You know? Sometimes Donnie looked kind of, even though he was young, like 25, sometimes Donnie just seemed like he was just like in a god awful mood, like, oh man, I can't fucking, like this fucking job, like, not like he was gonna kill people, but like, that it was not only physically stressing him out, but it was intellectually stressing him out, right? But Donnie was a sweet guy, so. We gotta hit the road pretty fast, huh? Gotta hit the trail, no doubt. So we gotta chug. Was that the KFC? Yeah, I did a little bit of fasting today. Besides exercise, I did was that a bowl of cereal and like an egg, a sausage, and a toast. And then I didn't have anything until KFC just about an hour ago. So, yeah. No, beer isn't the best way to keep the health train going there, but yeah, don't care. I'm trying to increase every day to 7,000 steps. And so tonight we're going to get the Mega Millions lottery and the Powerball. And a beer. All right. All right, I'll be back. Love you. Bum, bum. All right, let's look at the time factor here. We got, 9:38. Yeah, we'll make it. Okay. Hit that mega, hit that Powerball. We're good to go. Yeah, I busted on the mega quite a bit, actually. But I'm really trying to hit on number 4. All right. See how many people try to rush up right before 10. Sometimes there's a lot of people that... Usually it's right before 9. Because that would be Powerball or liquor. Hey. My car sounds like a fart. Like a living fart. If a fart was a machine, that's what it would sound like. It's like... Hello. How's it going? Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Have a good one, sir. All right, so we got our, huh. Well, okay. So we got our Powerball and our, we did power play the, I assume that the Powerball is going to go to 700 million tomorrow. So I assume that. Ew, I could be wrong, but I mean, for the Powerball, the Mega Millions winners that, act a fool out of themselves and go get fucked up in bars and start fighting people and shit. That's not, so that's not good. But the people that do philanthropy and keep their head above water and aren't and escape in good health and good nature, those kind of people are fine. But I guess a number one rule would be don't tell your family and don't give any money to your family, because they certainly wouldn't give shit to you. Yeah. So that's the kind of unbreakable rule, is that not only you cannot tell the public, but number two, you definitely can't trust your family. So, as sad as that sounds. All right. Love you. One. One. There it is. Yeah. Mega Millions for tonight. $5 and then $3 on the Powerball tomorrow. Yeah. Powerball tomorrow is 700 million. And it's like 250 million for the Mega Millions tonight. Yeah, so. Ooh. You know it. Ha ha ha. Ooh. My baby girls. Hey, I love you too, Mom. Yeah. Huh? About what? Oh, yeah, no problem. No. No. Love you. Yeah. So, so how do I know what the numbers are? Well, I don't. Yeah. It's just what I think maybe it's going to be. What my hunch is. It doesn't always work. But sometimes. Like a few weeks back, I just wrote down for the Cash 5, it was just like my usual numbers. And yeah. It hit the gravy train at 350. Unfortunately, it didn't hit the gravy train of 25,000. Then I could really be like, oh yeah, had a lucky hand that night, had a lucky roll that night or something. 25 grand. Well, after taxes, what is it going to be? 16,000. Oh well, still better than nothing. There we go. And pour the brewski. Soulfish Cafe, Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah, I didn't really like living in Arkansas. I grew up in Houston. So, Baytown, Goose Creek, like Gary Busey, Jennifer Garner. And then it was Pasadena, Texas. No, I'm sorry. It was Liberty County, Dayton, Texas. And then it was Pasadena, Texas. And then it was Spring, Texas. And then, so little bit in and around Houston area. And then a little while in Katy, Texas. And then when I lived in Arkansas, it was like, yeah, it's real beautiful and stuff like that. But it's Something about the Tejas. That's just the shit, right? Love you. What happened? Oh, the roll of toilet paper? Two less TT? All right. Oh. Well, she had a good food earlier. She's starting to revert back to the shits again. I mean, Tula. Oh, Phoebe. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm in charge of the breakfast. I'm in charge of the eggs and everything. Yeah. I know, she had a good, she had a good run.
It's all right.
Yeah. And then now it's back to,
She'll be back to scrambled eggs tomorrow. Sooner or later.
she'll have a regular poop sooner or later. Huh?
It's just really liquidy.
Yeah. She'll be back to good old poop.
You can only get better.
Yeah. Things can only get better. Howard Jones? Whoa, oh, 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 oh. And if you feel scared, things can only get better. It's hard to do that.
Hey, so when you're sitting in a chair and you think you smell poo. Oh, yeah.
Things can only get better. Can only get better. Things can only get. No, that's not Howard Jones. That's the. that cheesy British fucking song from the 90s. I didn't even know about it, actually. I didn't even hear of it. I guess it was just only big in England. It wasn't big over here in the States. And yeah. It's kind of weird because some of the English people were trying to taunt that last cat that was the prime minister before they have so many cats and dogs over there get revolved out of the parliament, out of the prime minister role. It's like Boris Johnson, Truss, what's the guy? Shishnak, some like Pakistan Indian dude or something. Shashnik, Sheikh, fuck, I don't know. Then they have Keir Starmer, the Starmer troopers. So in his George Orwell world over there, UK has fallen. London has fallen. Yeah, it's weird that they're. I guess the difference in their parliament is that they have a vote of no confidence, like in Star Wars, and that's something we don't have. I don't think. We have impeachment in the United States, and we have a really shitty leader. But the founding fathers made sure that the guy was, really the pits, really just awful, like Joe Biden or somebody like that. Before it would take the Senate and the House of Representatives so many votes to impeach the president. I mean, to actually do it, not just call a vote for it. But I think in British parliamentary politics, they have something like in Star Wars. You know, Chancellor Valorum. In the Galactic Republic, they vote for a vote of no confidence. Rest in peace, Terrence Stamp in Star Wars Phantom Menace Episode 1. So Terrence Stamp gets this vote of no confidence, and then he's booted out. And then the next leader is voted for and emerges. So I think that is the difference between the United States system and the parliamentary system. In UK is that it's a lot easier for them to call a vote of no. They have a vote of no confidence to get rid of the prime minister, replace them. So I think that's the key difference. I'm not an expert in British parliamentary politics, though. But that's the only way that I can explain this revolving door where they seem to have a new leader every, like too soon. So often. It seems like so many people so fast. Wasn't it that Liz Truss? She was only the prime minister of Great Britain for like fucking 2 weeks or something. How did Boris Johnson go down? I think it was during COVID-19, the pandemic, and he was telling the public to mask up and stay at home and social distance 6 feet away from other people. And then they had this video of him like partying and shit with a whole bunch of people. Right, I guess that's when he got voted out. He got booted out. Getting his party on. Oh shit. I kind of like that guy. He seemed cool. Like he had fucking whack ass hair and shit. He looked kind of like a cool motherfucker, but oh well. Not this douchebag Keir Starmer. Man, that guy looks like a sellout from hell. That guy looks like the most authoritarian, totalitarian bureaucrat I've ever seen. He just looks like a pig. He looks like a squealing pig, like a pig in real life. He's a monstrosity. But I think if he's not voted out in a vote of no confidence or something, if they don't boot him out of power, I think he gets the whole power until 2029. Yeah. I think that Keir Starmer is a piece of shit, like, to be honest. But you know what? Don't really have to worry about Keir Starmer too much because he's not my president. So he's not ruling this country. So thank God. Thank the Heavenly Lord, our Father and Savior. And thank God Kamala Harris and Joe Biden aren't running our country anymore either. Or Democrats, for example. Yeah, it's getting kind of old. Like, there's an article last 10 years about Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend of The Who. They're like, I'm too old for this shit. Yeah. I'm kind of tired of rock stars complaining about mortality and getting older. It's just kind of... It's not what I want to remember them as. Just complaining, my back hurts, I'm old. People don't really want to hear that shit. I've only got 3 years left. I know I've only got 6 left and that's it. I mean, I don't hear Ringo Starr. I don't hear Sir Paul McCartney going, I only got 5 left. I'm fucking in pain. Oh. I don't hear them complaining, ever say anything like that. You know? But the Who are just like blasting that shit last 10 years or so. It gets old. Okay, if it's too rough for you to play your songs, then fucking retire, you know? Then just fucking retire then. Go off to the chateau or the countryside or the, you know, go chill at the mansion or whatever. Oh. I mean, do I want to see a Who concert with Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend in wheelchairs? Hope I die before I get old. Talking about my geriatrics. Talking about my geriatrics. People try to put me down just because I wheel around. Talking about my geriatrics. My geriatrics, yeah. Oh, yeah. My geriatrics? That'd be a good hit. You show them like wheeling around and shit. No, I'd prefer to remember the Who as the badass band that they were. Yeah. So not... Actually, if they do a show where they're in wheelchairs and they've got like a whole bunch of backup, I promise you that last show that I went to in 2015 of the Who at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, there was fucking empty seats all over the fucking place. I was kind of almost shocked. But then I was like, well, the guys are pretty old. You know, like their music's kind of fading away and like, you know, they're not as popular anymore and they're not really, you know, like people aren't, I mean, I'm not saying there's not like younger people discovering their music and loving it and stuff like that and really liking it and really, really digging it. But I mean, the story of the sales is an interesting story. So if you go to a show and there's a lot of empty seats, you know, there's something going on there. So an A means the artist is not relevant anymore. And they don't have enough fans and they don't have enough recoup fans that are younger generations to come out and support it. That means their music's being forgotten. You know, like it's not only that they're not popular, but their music has also, like, it's not in vogue. It's not in style. It's kind of been forgotten and there's not enough new generations listening to it to become new parts of the fandom. And so it's kind of fading away a little bit. It's fadish. And so, but the story is that if you go see an old classic rock band or something, you see a lot of empty seats, you know what's up. And do I think the Rolling Stones could get there? I don't know. The last time, 10 years ago when I went to Rolling Stones Zip Code Tour, that fucking AT&T Stadium was fucking packed with old people, young people, middle-aged people. It was astounding. Yeah. It was like... Now, all the seats were also packed because they skipped a show. They didn't do a Houston, Texas show. They only did a Dallas AT&T Stadium Arlington show. So, or maybe another one in Austin or San Antonio or somewhere. But they didn't do many Texas shows. So basically what it forced people to do is drive 3 hours, 4 hours to go see the Rolling Stones. So, yeah. So it might have been packed because there was limited shows. Like the Rolling Stones in the old days, they would go to Houston, they would go to Dallas, they would go to Austin, they would go to San Antonio, maybe they'd go to El Paso. You know, they would hit every single city. But as they've gotten older, they've just been consolidating it. You know, like, oh, we'll skip Houston, we'll go to Arlington. Or, you know, we'll skip Dallas and we'll go to San Antonio. So back in the day, they'd go everywhere. But all over. Yeah. So that might have explained why the whole place was fucking crazily packed at that gigantic AT&T Stadium. So I suspect until the Rolling Stones die that they'll have a lot of young fans, and they'll have a lot of older fans, and they'll have a lot of middle-aged fans and people from different generations and all walks of life. I think that until the day they die, unless Keith Richards dies or something, then people will probably stop going. All right, if Mick Jagger dies, people will probably stop going to the Rolling Stones. They'll probably stop doing it. So I think it would be pretty ballsy if Keith Richards dies and Mick Jagger proceeds without him and does a tour anyway. Right, that'd be pretty wild. Or that would be wild if Mick Jagger died and Keith Richards and the gang went out on a tour, their final tour or something. But I suspect that if one of the main players dies, not Charlie Watts, he already died, the drummer. So the iteration I saw of the Rolling Stones was like the classic iteration. It was Charlie Watts, Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, and Ronnie Wood from the Rod Stewart band from the 70s, The Faces. Yeah, Ronnie Wood did that cool thing where the guitarist has the guitar like Frank Zappa, and they put the cigarette butt on the end. I don't know why. I always thought that was so cool. The guitarist is playing his tune, but puts his cigarette away and starts jamming. It's always like my favorite. The rock and roll attitude was, I give a fuck, but I don't give a fuck. And that's like putting the cigarette on the end of the guitar, on the machine head. That was kind of like the signal to the audience, like, yeah, they give a fuck, but they don't give a fuck. That's like the edgy, like the rock and roll part of it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing my own thing because I'm a rebel and I want to do, my sound and my thing. And that was the cool part of it. The cool part about rock and roll was the rebellion and the identity of it. And so that people were making a statement, right? Yeah, the Who are kind of struggling because the Who, they started, about as far back as 10 years ago, they started to have empty seats and they couldn't fill stadiums anymore. And then they would go on stage and, like the last show I saw was like, oh God. Is, Pete Townsend goes off about, he just goes off. He goes, the young people are pussies and fucking cowards these days. In my day, I guess he's not a baby boomer, right? He's a elder generation, but not the lost or the silent generation. But like, I guess growing up, yeah, is Pete Townsend like my grandma's generation, right? Yeah, like the Great Depression, I guess they're called the Greatest Generation that fought in World War. No, I guess I'm mixing up my generations, but they're the generation that's like. I think they were born before being the classification of baby boomer. So it was like they were born during the build up to World War II or while it was going on. So they're basically like World War II babies, essentially. So I guess they grew up in pretty hard times, right? My grandmother and Pete Townsend and the Beatles, they grew up in kind of hard times, really. I mean, they had the Great Depression, World War II. Not exactly a fun time. Not exactly a hoot. It was a party after that, but more or less. I wouldn't say it was a picnic, but it was better than the Great Depression and World War II. So you have to deal with, you see the Who, Roger Daltrey going, "Oh, I'm too old for this shit. Oh, hey, my back." Oh. And Pete Townsend doing that same kind of shit. And then Pete Townsend will get on the fucking mic and do a mic break. You younger generations of fucking coward pussies. And then you have to deal with that. And you're like, okay, I just paid $180 to see this, and there's empty seats everywhere. Like, what the fuck? This isn't the Who that I remember. Like, what the fuck is this? Jeez Louise, man. What the fuck? I'm not saying they say the same shit at every show, but it's like... It's like, hello, people have just paid money to see your show. Yeah, don't say Generation Z is a bunch of pussies or something. Come on. Get with the fucking program, Pete. What? Okay. But in the 2000 show, it was much better because the Toyota Center was packed. The reason being is that there hadn't been a show since John Entwistle died of blow off a speedball like Chris Farley. Now, a speedball is a cocaine concoction with heroin. That's called a speedball. But the problem with the speedball is that it's a depressant, stops your breathing with the heroin, and then it races up your heart with the cocaine. So it's bad. In other words, if two really famous people died from it, you know it's bad. So, yeah, it's real bad. It's called the speedball. It's cocaine laced with heroin, or heroin laced with cocaine or something. I never tried it. It's probably expensive because I usually only hear rich people dying from it. So I'm not saying a poor person can't save up his money and get a speedball, but I'm saying, like, you know. So the Ox, the bassist of The Who, died from the speedball, I think, was it 2003? Okay, George Harrison died in 2003 of lung cancer. I think it was 2005. I think it was 20 years ago. I could be wrong, but it was somewhere, early 2000s. That's when John Entwistle overdosed on speedball. In addition, there was a scandal with Pete Townsend. The British government had found, apparently, that he had been to some child porn websites. Apparently, allegedly. Now, in the actual arrest, Pete Townsend said, where they seized his computer and all that stuff, he said that he was doing research for a novel on child abuse on the internet. So he was doing research. Now, I was doing a book on child abuse. I don't think I put, there's some websites I won't visit because of obvious, ramifications. I'm not talking about bigtitties.com. That's not what I'm talking about. That isn't, every guy goes to bigtitties.com, or probably, you know what I mean? Every guy goes to playboy.com, teensbuttnaked.com or whatever it is. chocolatitty.com or whatever somebody likes. So everybody goes to every guy goes to asiantakeout.com, you know what I mean? Eating Chinese. Yeah. All right. So it depends on what flavor the guys like, but there's just porn. Most guys go to porn sites, right? So not all guys go to porn sites, but many do. Many red-blooded American males and males around the world go to pornographic websites. That's no secret. But that's like the open secret that a lot of people don't really, they either acknowledge or they don't. So, I don't think there's any shame in being a guy and saying, I like females bare ass naked. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Appreciating the female form. No big deal. All right, so I guess the problem would be, okay. Here's a theoretical pornographic problem. Okay, a guy's married, and then he's like sneaking off to look at porn or something. Let's say it was like affecting his work or his like life. What if it was affecting his marriage or his kids or his job or something? Like what if he was just fucking like he called into work so he could look at porn all day or something? Some kind of, I'm talking about some kind of extreme case, where a guy's just a fucking sex addict or something, where he's so addicted to something that he can't break out of it. Yeah. All right, so that's a possibility. But, okay, guys, just, I want to look at some titties today. Yeah. Oh, there's the internet. Look, there's titties. Woo. Yeah, not a big deal. But Pete Townsend, right? The UK government, maybe they had it out for him. Maybe he was really outspoken. Maybe they planted child porn shit on his computer. Don't know the circumstances. The United Kingdom, the British government, is not known for their love of free speech and free expression and freedom and liberty. They're not really known to be the government for that. They're more like the government that's known for George Orwell 1984, suppression of freedom and freedom of speech and liberty and rights and the right to tell the truth. And they're more like North Korea or like the Chinese communists than actual English Europeans. So a little less like my ancestors, I would say, in the mother country. So it's a sad state of affairs. So, anyways, Pete Townsend was exonerated from his, I don't know if the UK government, they planted kiddie porn web pages on his fucking computer or whatever happened, or they planted files or diskettes or CD-ROMs, whatever. But anyways, he was exonerated. So the Who had just come over two pretty epic tragedies: the loss of their bass player John Entwistle, the Ox, and this scandal of children porn or something, or underage websites by Pete Townsend that was probably perpetrated by whoever didn't like him in the British government. Obviously, if somebody doesn't like you in your government, they could be corrupt cops, or they could be corrupt intelligence agencies. If you're, I tend to think that they usually target people who are successful, that are rich and wealthy, and people who are nobody, they tend to usually not fuck with. So that's what I've seen. I've seen in society in general, I've seen people wealthy and famous and well-established get fucked with a lot more than I've seen commoners and just nobodies or just regular folk be fucked with. So if you notice, the governments of even Western countries tend to go after millionaires and billionaires first. And it doesn't mean they don't fuck with the plebes or the proletariats or the commoners, or the poor people or the lower class than the millionaires or billionaires or the upper crust. But it doesn't mean they don't play power games with just the regulars, just the normal folk. But I wouldn't believe that Pete Townsend was looking at children pornography. I never would have thought that. So it must have been an accident. Must have been planted by the UK, the oh so liberty friendly UK government, of the British government. So because they've always the British government has always stood for truth, justice, liberty, and the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression, obviously. Yeah, that's not facetiously saying that. So after successfully recuperating from these gigantic tragedies and hardships and scandals, then the Who come roaring back. And we see the tour in 2007. And a packed house. Because of the terror threats, because of September 11, 2001, the security in America and all around the world, especially in large meeting places, large events, started to go up. So the Toyota Center and airlines, they would start to have increased security, even for a rock concert or something. So especially a really packed one like the Who. And so I had to pass through the metal detectors with the other people to get in. Yeah, I wasn't really used to going through metal detectors to get through a concert, like, in the 1980s or 1990s. It was just a sign of the times because of terrorism and foreign adversaries and so on. Maybe even lone wolves and people who are anti-humanity that want to blow up and just kill a lot of people. So people who don't really like human beings or the human experience or the human way of life. Yeah. Other human beings that don't like other human beings, as it were. Men who are anti-man. Yeah, sad, but true. People that had become Antichrist, literally, which is Antichrist just means anti-man. So being anti-man is the same thing as being anti-God. It's the same thing as Antichrist. It means you're demonic. So that's what you have chosen. As they always used to say, if you believe in nothing, then you still believe in something. Deep. Because believing in nothing is still believing in something. Yeah, I think it was Sunday night, Monday morning. I was dreaming so well, and like every time I went back to sleep, I would have like amazing dreams, and then I'd have more amazing dreams, and then I woke up Monday morning, and I was just like, I felt so fucking refreshed after having all those dreams. Like, it's a pretty amazing feeling. Like the dreams felt so restorative. Yeah. I guess that's the way dreams are supposed to feel. Sleep is supposed to feel restorative, restorative, rejuvenative. Then Monday, when the storms were going on, then I saw the rainbow. I saw the rain, the storm bow, and I was taking the pictures, and I was like, oh man, this is like pretty epic, you know. The storm bow. So the thunderstorm bow. It's like this is a good one. Yeah. Enjoy the moments, the the beauty in nature. Just being alive on this planet, just for a little while. Just enjoy it, you know. Live it, feel it, get into it. A storm rainbow near sunset. I said, this is where living's really at, right here. This is what it's really all about. Yeah. I guess the real point was was everything that ever happened in everyone's lives, was it just data? Or was there something actually happening? Or was it just data? Was it just number codes or something like that? Was it just information? Did it mean anything beyond the information? The actual experience? The soul, the spirit of it? Was it more than just an algorithm? Was it more than just a code? A predictable structure? Was it more than the matrix, source code, God's program? Or was there something deeper to it? Was there a lesson to be learned? Was there a struggle to overcome? Was there a great battle to win or a great war to win?